Let me stay by your side." The granted request led the two bodies to continue moving forward as the touches on their lips intensified without a break. Her warm and wet tongue teased the other. Girls, as the owner used it to explore for the sweetness hidden deep inside. The heart that was carrying the burden was still performing its usual function. The desire to press their bodies against each other could not remove what was stuck in their hearts. Loft wanted to be closer to this gorgeous woman. She wanted to seize the last moments of having this woman beside her, because after this night passed, what she and Pure had might be gone without a trace. For someone who had no right to be loved, this must be the furthest she can go. Even though Pure sometimes treated her well, causing her to inadvertently think too far of their relationship, in the end, there was nothing more between the two of them than fleeting joy, temporary loneliness, and a second of wavering. There was no depth in their relationship, no attachment in any way when someone in the woman's heart returned. The person who had been true to her love and waited endlessly would choose to go back to her without question. The two women slumped down on the large sofa in the middle of the room. Loft was on top, while the pretty older woman was below her. When the two lips that had been passionately grinding parted, their meaningful gazes were locked on each other for a while. Pure's slender fingers slowly traced the other person's face. Loft shut her eyes as those light touches began. The tenderness she had received was about to end soon. She wanted to keep this person for longer, but she couldn't do as she wanted. Emotions overcame her heart. Her eyes started burning. Loft tried her best to hide her sorrow, but she was just a human being who wasn't always tough. Clear drops of tears fell, as if reconfirming her sorrow. From now on, if she missed the other woman, how would she deal with it? She didn't even have the right to say it and wasn't in a position to go see her. I miss you too. No more of those words. Everything was over. My gorgeous woman, as she used her fingertips to wipe away the other woman's tears. Pure's eyes were filled with sadness. It was reddened like someone who was about to cry in the next few minutes. Loft thought she should say something too. Comfort her. Yes. Even though you're still as pretty with those sad eyes, I don't want to see you in sorrow. Pure. How can I smile happily? Not only tonight or only at this moment, but Pure has been immersed in her emotions for a while now. Of course, those symptoms have caused her to start acting differently from before. All her conversations, despite of who had decreased. She was confused about what to do with her heart, and thus why she disappeared to assess everything in detail. But even so, she still couldn't find a conclusion to her messy relationship. Don't let the matter with me make you suffer. Don't worry and don't feel guilty. Pure, you're not in the wrong for not loving me. Silence was still what Pure chose to give the girl who was on the verge of collapsing. Loft forced a lifeless smile, and that action made Pure unable to bear to watch anymore. She lowered her gaze to avoid it. No matter what the reason was, she was hurt too much when the other person said that Pure didn't love her. But if the girl asked directly if she did, Pure wouldn't have a clear answer for her either. The one who loves, even though they know they shouldn't, is the one who's wrong. I'm sorry. I'll give you a chance to pay for it tonight. We're doing that even though both of them were upset. It became a sentence that Pure decided to swallow back, refusing to say it out loud. While Loft was sobbing, she was almost unable to hold it in anymore. And how could they make love in this situation? Of course we can. It was only that between the two of us, the physical pleasure that they gave each other was something that Loft and Pure had always done. It created fun, excitement, and thrill to ease the loneliness while waiting for that certain someone. That was the sole foundation of the relationship between the two of them. Loft, it's not like that. She wanted to deny what the younger girl thought, but Pure didn't know how to correct it between them. It wasn't just about exchanging physical pleasure, but could she tell the girl that? If it wasn't just that, then how? Much more were they. It wasn't just lust, but there were other things involved. Can you have sex with me, gorgeous? I won't tell anyone how beautiful you are in bed. I'll keep it a secret to my grave. Pure swallowed the bitterness in her heart. Hearing what Loft said, it seemed the story between them would be kept deep in the girl's heart. A period of her life would be suppressed, not revealed to anyone. Pure understood very well what this tall girl really meant. Allow me to be close to you. Her raspy whisper came with a steaming breath to Pure's ear. The woman's hair stood as she felt a shiver travel all over her body. The soft palm of the person who was waiting for the answer dragged through her shirt and circled her stomach, climbing higher and higher, causing the owner of her body to tense up. The more Loft moved her naughty hand lower to mess with the rim of her pants, Pure had to hold her breath for a moment. MMM. As soon as her neck was nibbled lightly, a groan escaped from her throat. Pure automatically looked up when the burning touch reached her sensitive spot. Loft knew which position could make the gorgeous older woman react. The number of times they slept together had given her a lot of experience. Be mine, just for tonight is enough. The bra hook was undone with the hand that was inserted under the woman's body, while her lips were pressed against the other passionately. Pure extended both her arms around the other woman's neck, as if looking for something to hold on to. And I won't ask for anything else. The gloomy gaze locked onto hers. Pure nodded slowly, and with that response, Loft smiled back at her. It was a smile she was unfamiliar with, a smile different from her usual. The clothes that were covering them were now off their bodies. Their naked frames were pressed against each other on that sofa. The raging emotions intensified their touches. The light bite marks made the smooth and fair skin blush red. Pure's gorgeous busts were kneaded lightly, then heavily in a rhythm. Her moans that she was embarrassed by escaped her mouth from time to time. So pretty. After she complimented, the peak of her breast was licked and sucked. The gentle bit made the owner flinch and arch her body in response to the exciting sensations. Loft looked up to the pretty face that was now filled with desire. She smiled at the sight, no matter when Pure was still beautiful in her eyes, even when she was filled with lust, her tormenting face with a hint of happiness, or when she was sending that begging gaze for something more. And it would be good if what Pure wanted and called for included her love. Loft, seeing the tears that were flowing, the lust that was growing rapidly, seemed to soar in an instant. Every time the younger woman looked at her, the girl would always cry. She didn't know what the mischievous child was fighting with inside, but Pure could feel the pain from the wounds she left behind. And how could she not feel guilty? I love you, Pure. I really do love you. After finishing that sentence, it was as if the switch had been triggered. The person on top started giving her pleasure without a break. Loft pampered her gently, yet so intensely at the same time that Pure felt it was different from the other times they had done before. Time passed, but the activities that prompted the two young women to move their bodies toward each other showed no sign of stopping. They took turns giving and receiving those intimate touches until they ran out of energy. Then they took a break to take a shower and cleanse themselves before returning to continue the activity many more times. In the late morning of the new day, the sun shone brightly, but it could not penetrate the thick curtains into the bedroom. The two bodies were sleeping soundly as they were exhausted from their intense activity last night. If it weren't for the vibration of the communication device on the bedside table, there would be no way they would have woken up. Pure reached out to grab her mobile phone and swiped the screen to answer the call. Without looking to see who was calling, when she heard the voice that came through, the person who was still half asleep widened her eyes immediately. You're not up yet. I stayed up late last night. The reason why she overslept was not explained in detail, and the other woman didn't seem to mind or press for any other excuse. I thought you were already in the studio, so can I come to your condo? Huh, are you coming over? After she was woken up from the surprise call, the following sentence startled her even more. But no matter how shocked she was, Pure still tried to speak as softly as she could. The reason was so as not to disturb the person who was still sleeping soundly next to her. And of course, besides that, she didn't want Loft to know who she was talking to. I sent a message last night. Didn't you read it? It's okay if now is not the right time. It's not like that. Give me a moment to take a shower. And what should we eat? Anything. She was about to address the other person as she usually would. But she had to stop abruptly and avoid mentioning the other person's name. At the same time, she secretly glanced at the girl, then let out a soft sigh in relief that the other person was still sound asleep. Okay, I'll be there in an hour. Okay. Pure hung up the phone with a heavy heart. Air was coming over, but Loft was still sleeping next to her. She promised her ex-lover because she couldn't refuse the woman's dejected tone. However, she still didn't know how to tell the tall girl that someone was coming over to see her. The current situation was so difficult that the middle person, like her, wanted to disappear. She didn't want to carry anything like a selfish person anymore. No matter which decision she made, it was confirmed that she would hurt one of them. Air is coming over, can you leave for now? How could she say that? Don't come, Air, I'm busy. She didn't dare to say that either, because in the past, Pure had never rejected Air. Not even once. Was that Air? While the helpless person was lying down with her eyes closed. And pondering hard, Loft asked with her hoarse voice. The question that her younger girl asked made Pure's heart drop. Pure knew that just admitting that the person who called earlier was Air would already hurt Loft quite much, but lying wouldn't be the right thing to do. Yes. How much time do I have? Even though it hurt, it was expected for someone in her position. Pure's true partner was about to return. Loft should take herself as far away as possible. About an hour. All right, I'll just take a quick shower. Loft, Pure felt guilty. She could tell from staring at those eyes that the gorgeous older woman was close to sobbing. The woman had to purse her lips tightly. Her eyes were red, and her prominent nose was also starting to turn red. That's what I have to do. Don't make that face. I'm sorry. You've made up for it more than enough, it's okay. Let me take a shower first. Loft quickly dismissed the apology and hurriedly got herself out of there. She couldn't hold back her sorrow anymore, but before she could go anywhere, the feeling of warmth pressed against her back. The small arms grabbed her waist and hugged her tightly. Pure's beautiful face was buried in her shoulder. After a short while, the wetness seeped through the fabric to her skin, informing her that the woman she loved was crying. I'm sorry. An apology was what Pure chose as her solution. Loft understood and accepted that no matter what, the woman's heart still belonged to the same person and had never changed.